In today's video, I'm going to show you guys one of the most important adjustments you should be making on your defense if you're running a cover 3. Now, before we get into it, drop a like on today's video, subscribe, become members. Full scheme breakdowns are in the members area. We have the championship stuff, okay? We have the dollar, we have the wild trips pats, we have Skimbo's offense, his gun bunch, the defense. We have 3-3 Cub, wild trips pats, trips tight end, wild trio week. I'm telling you guys so much stuff in there already to take you on high win streaks. I'm in the Legends division, 48 Super Bowls in. I'm thinking about just giving up on Ultimate Team, man, because it's to a point now where I've already won 48 Super Bowls. I can compete in MUT champs. I beat a top 50 player. It's not a lot left to prove. It's more of a job now to keep up than anything else, man, honestly. And it slows down content because you're trying to play a whole season. That's like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, depending on if everybody stays in the game. So I'm gonna be considering and thinking about what I'm gonna do as far as the Ultimate Team, man. But I want to get the content out here for you guys a lot more, and it's hard. So let's talk about cover 3. Let's look at the seams. Okay, you'll see that we have seam plays. Let's do the nickel over cover 3 seam, and we can go ahead and turn auto flip on. And I'm gonna show you guys a mistake that you're making. So whenever your opponent is coming out, you see this cover 3 seam. If your opponent is coming out in a spread formation, you'll see spread wise slot, right? It's a 2x2, and they run something like verticals, right? Now on offense, okay, let's just say I press and I QB contain. Now I'm using the Chargers because they got a really good pass rush, and I would probably just bring them in like this because I feel like even if the quarterback rolls out, they'll still get an insta shed. But let me show you guys, and I want you to pay attention to the seam flat from the left and right side. In a doubles like this, in a 2x2, if they're running verticals, these seam flats are supposed to man up. And in your mind, if you don't know this already, it used to be they would do it automatically, all right? But let's watch how they play in this scenario right here. Okay, so you see they didn't play right. They play like a standard cover 3 with curl flats, all right? Let me show you what I mean. In this play right here, this vertical, you'll notice that these guys let them go, which means on either side of the play, you are cooked in a 2x2 if you run a cover 3 and they're running verticals, because they could pass it to either or. If you user this guy, they're gonna throw it to this guy. If you user this guy, they throw it to this guy, okay? And you'll notice that your cover 3 seams are actually playing like curl flats. It looks like they stay with them and then they take off, but there's not a threat here. So why would they do that, right? Why would they do that? There's something that you should be doing, and if you don't know this by now, there is an adjustment within this game that you can make to ensure that when they run a spread formation, that this doesn't happen. And it's as simple as this, okay? So let's go ahead and choose new play. And you wanna come into your coaching adjustments, all right? We're gonna come to coaching adjustments, we go all the way down, and we're gonna put our zone coverage to match. Now, you don't wanna touch your flats, curl flats, because they override. To my knowledge, that if you mess with these, it overrides the match. All right, I don't use it a lot, but just so you guys know. Okay, so we're gonna come to the same thing, nickel over, or what was it? Yeah, nickel over, cover 3 seam, and we're gonna run the same play with verticals. Now we're gonna go ahead and just press QB contain like this. Now let's pay attention to what the seam flats do now that we turn match coverage on within the cover 3 seam. Let them snap the ball. Watch these guys, and now they match and they stay with the vertical route, and we get the pick because he had nowhere to go. So let me show you guys that in instant replay. Now, the crazy thing about this, okay, is that not only is it supposed to work for cover 3, it's supposed to work for cover 4 too. So you'll notice that these guys now do not sit in the quarter, right? Or what is it, the curl flat, which is supposed to be a seam flat, but they played more like curl flats. These guys now man up on both sides. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important that if you're gonna be running cover 3, that your inside corners are your fastest. Remember that? And your outsides don't really have to be, because they're playing blues, right? And, well, actually, it depends if you're pressing. If you're pressing, then you're gonna need your fastest outside. But if you're not pressing, you don't need to press, in all honesty. You could run the play like this. But if you're running a blitz, what I would recommend is just grabbing this guy and then bringing him down like this, right? If you're gonna be running certain style blitzes, pinching the D line like this. And let's see what happens. Boom. He goes over there. Oh, he tried to go over the top right there. We got him. I don't know why he didn't do that in the press, but he did it while the press wasn't there. Let me come back to instant replay. Let's make sure. over here on this left side. Yeah, see, not a press, but he still felt like he'd go over the top. Now, a high ball may have a better chance because you'll notice, look at the height on Evans compared to the guy that's on him, right? High ball might be able to get past them and get an aggressive catch in the end zone, but that's just something that's going to be RNG based. You never know how that's going to work and how it plays out in game. Now, another thing is your cover four. So your cover four quarters, nickel over. Let's see how it reacts to a verticals play. Let's just say we baseline QB contain, right? Let's see what the quarter flats do. We have match. Boom. It's actually the quarters that man up to the guy. So you're able in some instances just to let those guys go. You'll know that your quarters will actually play better. So what I would recommend you do is bring in a cover four is to bring these guys down, because even to the outside, because people will want to run bench on you and they're going to want to hit corner routes quickly. And a lot of people like to throw them in this area. But if you bring these guys down, they could jump the routes. They could zone break a lot quicker than not. You know what I'm saying? So you probably want to leave this on for that. Man, that's a nice little throw right there, but you get the idea. You know what I'm saying? So running that match is going to be more beneficial. Let's go ahead and go underneath QB contain. We can bring these guys down, like I said. And if you want to keep a 3-man pass rush, you could take A and put him on a yellow like this. Now we have the vertical hook. So now we have a nice 3-man pass rush because we can rely on it with these guys. And then we can just watch this. He takes the, oh look, you see what I'm saying? You press, you can get beat like that. So be careful. Now, obviously, if you're going to be pressing, you can back off someone like Evans manually. And then you can take this guy on a vertical and a hook curl, shade underneath. So that way he'll play underneath his yellow. And I can sit there in the middle and see what's going on without a press going on. We'll see what he checks right there, and he throws it right in the coverage. And sometimes you're going to get the pick, sometimes you're not. Sometimes it's going to be that way. It just depends. But match coverage in itself is beneficial and key. The only time it doesn't work in the cover four quarters is drops. But before we get off, let's go ahead and turn match on and then drop the flats to about, let's do 15 each, right? Let's just see. We leave match on. We come back to this cover 3. This is just for scientific purposes only. And let's see if it overrides it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, back off Evans this way. We'll QB contain. And let's see, does me putting yards on the flats, right? Adjustments on the flats for zone drops, does it override match? We're about to find out right now. And you'll notice that it does. Okay, so it does override that. Give me the picks, my ball. Thank you. It does override it in that sense. So remember that when you're using your zone drops and you're gonna turn match on, okay, do not have these set up. Make sure they're on default if you're gonna be running match, because putting anything here will override that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out the members area. Like I said, everything that I use, full schemes are in the members area that I go on high win streaks. Drop a like on today's video. Love you guys, man. Peace.